Where is Manning getting $125 million to buy OWP Commercial Center? An editorial by Soidath Prasad, editor. September 16 Privy Council judgment could drive nail in coffin to end alleged CLF liquidation bobble. Where is San Fernando East MP Brian Hayden Manning getting $125 million with which he has secretly offered to buy the commercial area at 1 Woodbrook Place, OWP? This is one of the burning questions that begs for a straightforward answer, especially now that the Privy Council has finally set September 16th as the date on which it will deliver its judgment on assessment of liquidator fees in the ongoing CL Financial (CLF) saga. 1 Woodbrook Place is owned by Home Construction Limited (HCL), which is a subsidiary of CL Financial, in liquidation. The impending Privy Council judgment will impact on the underlying issues of bobble, collusion, and dissipation and disposal of prime CL Financial (CLF) assets to family, friends, and financiers under the former PNM administration. The CLF saga involves $13 billion bailout loans provided by the government to two of its companies since 2009 to prevent systemic risk to the domestic and regional financial system. At that time, CLF was the largest conglomerate in Trinidad and Tobago, operating a number of companies in the banking, insurance, energy, construction, and retail sectors. Its asset base has since been reduced from $100 billion to $20 billion owing to dissipation and disposal of assets under successive governments. A great irony is that the $13 billion loan has not been fully repaid despite the chopping off of $80 billion in value of CLF assets. The plundering of CLF assets took a turn for the worse following the September 2017 decision by former Minister of Finance Colm Imbert to file a High Court petition to wind up the conglomerate on behalf of the government as creditor. The High Court appointed joint liquidators from a single company for 8 months to complete the task of liquidating assets to pay off the government debt. It is now 8 years that the liquidator has been leeching of the CLF job by racking up recurring fees and expenses. In July 2020, the liquidator filed an application for approval of fees and expenses amounting to $24 million. The government objected and requested further information. The matter reached the Privy Council. The liquidation firm of Grant Thornton had appointed several liquidators on the CLF job in the ensuing years. Mark Byers is the current Grant Thornton liquidator tasked with the CLF mission. In the latest twist to the CLF saga, Byers has accepted Manning's secret offer of $125 million to buy the commercial area at OWP, which is less than half of a $312 million valuation on the said area. Notwithstanding the massive fire sale discount, questions surrounding Manning's source of funds, conflict of interest, collusion, misbehavior in public office, conspiracy to dissipate CLF asset, conspiracy to commit fraud, and conspiracy to launder money beg for straightforward answers. Byers was required to report to Manning during his tenure as minister in the Ministry of Finance under the previous regime. Manning's deal of a deal proposal was submitted by Shining World Capital Management Company Limited. According to records at the Registrar General Department in Trinidad and Tobago, Shining World Capital Management Company Limited is a shell company of which Manning is the sole beneficial owner. According to the company's annual return filed with the Registrar General on August 11, 2025, Shining World Capital Management Company Limited has a stated capital of just $1 TT. Another shell company with a similar name was also registered in the British Virgin Islands, BVI. Liquidator Byers resides in BVI. And Grant Thornton, the liquidator firm at which Byers is attached, also has a registered office in BVI. Brian Hayden Manning is the son of former Patrick Manning, deceased, under whose tenure the CLF bailout occurred in 2009. Hazel and Marie Manning, who had served as a cabinet minister under her prime minister husband, is the mother of Brian. She is also listed as a director and corporate secretary of Shining World Capital Management Company Limited. It does not require rocket science to connect the dots relating to the disposal of a massively discounted prime commercial property via a questionable transnational purchase agreement involving a conniving BVI liquidator, a conflicted former TT government minister, and the less than naive ex-minister's mother.